At a family dinner, my girlfriend smiled sweetly at me and said, "Either pay for my brother's college or we're done. That's the bare minimum a real man does." Her parents nodded in agreement. I didn't argue. I just smiled and left without a word. 2 weeks later, her family was always part of the package. Robert, her father, measured his worth by his stock portfolio. Carol, her mother, believed her daughter was destined for luxury. And Leo, her 19-year-old brother, had never worked a day in his life. There's something else you need to know. My younger sister, Sarah, is a widow. A year ago, her husband, my best friend since childhood, passed away after fighting cancer. He left her with 2 kids and a mountain of medical debt. She works 2 jobs and never complains. I help where I can, but she resists major help. Her struggle is a constant ache in my heart. Last night at family dinner, Robert cleared his throat. "Liam, as you know, Leo's been accepted to a very prestigious university." Then Chloe turned to me, placing her hand on my arm. "We've been talking. We want you to pay for Leo's tuition, first year at least. The cost was more than the down payment on my first house." Her smile tightened. "Either pay for my brother's college or we're done. That's the bare minimum a real man does for the family he's going to marry into." Robert and Carol nodded. They'd planned this. This wasn't a request. It was a shakedown. In that moment, everything became crystal clear. My worth to them wasn't my love, my character, or my work. It was my bank account. I thought of my sister getting up at 5 a.m. before getting her kids ready for school, trying to figure out which bill to skip this month for new shoes. The contrast between her quiet struggle and their loud demands almost made me laugh. I stood up, placed my napkin beside my plate, smiled genuinely, and walked out without saying a single word. I heard Chloe call my name, confused, then angry. I didn't stop, got in my truck and drove straight to Sarah's house. The next morning, I liquidated my entire investment portfolio. Years of savings, my future fund. It was enough to change a life. Messages from Chloe poured in. "What was that last night? You're being childish. Robert, we expect an apology." I didn't reply. I set up a trust for my sister's children. The next day, 2 checks were delivered. One paid off her late husband's medical debt completely. The other paid off her mortgage. Sarah called me, voice choked. "Liam, what did you do?" "Made a sound investment in the only family that matters." That afternoon, I responded to Chloe, one email to her, her brother, and her parents. Subject: a real man. You're correct. A real man provides for his family. That's why my savings, the money you demanded for Leo, has been used to pay off the medical debt and mortgage for my widowed sister and her 2 children. Our relationship is over. I attached the paid-in-full statements, hit send, blocked all their numbers. The explosion was immediate. Chloe had a meltdown. Robert tried calling his lawyer about suing me. Their lawyer told them they had no case. They started a smear campaign, painting me as cruel for helping my sister instead of them. It backfired spectacularly. Sarah lives in the same small town. Her story was well known. Her husband's passing, her struggles. When news spread that I'd paid off her debt, the community was touched. A local newspaper did a piece on it. Now imagine you're Robert and Carol. You've built a reputation as pillars of the community. Then this story comes out about incredible generosity, and your daughter is telling everyone that same man is a monster for not funding her brother's frat parties instead. People connected the dots. Chloe wasn't just seen as greedy, she was ghoulish. The woman who tried to divert a lifeline from a widow and children. Robert and Carol were humiliated, their social standing shattered. Chloe became a pariah. Leo ended up at community college with a part-time job.